You are not the best dancer, but you are not the worst either. What do I mean by that? Let's talk about it. Hello, fellow dancers. Welcome back to the Addicted to Shimmy podcast show. This is Sol Calderon from BellyDance studio, and today I'm very happy because I'm gonna share with you the episode number 2. And remember that we are on Spotify and YouTube. So the topic for today is very fun and controversial. You are not the best dancer, but you are not the worst either. What do I mean by that? Let's talk about it. Let me start with a very good story. Back in 2016, I attended my first ATS homecoming in San Francisco, California. I think that was the second one that they made back when ATS, FCBD was ATS, which I love. I love still ATS. I don't know, it's easier for me to pronounce it. It's easier for me to, I don't know, it's like, in Spanish, we used to call us like ATS dancers, like atesistas. It was so easy to pronounce it. It was so easy to advertise it. It was more fun for me. But anyways, I respect the changes and whatever. And let's go back to the topic. So back in 2016, I attended my first ATS Homecoming International event. So it was, there were a lot of conferences, workshops, specifically for this dance style. So I remember that I was freaking scared because I you know my English. I'm still working on it. Imagine back in 2016. So coming back to the topic, it was 2016 when I attended this international event. So I flew to San Francisco, California by myself. I didn't know anyone, but I had the contact of Terry Allred. So she was the organizer and the producer of the event. So she helped me to find someone to share the hotel room with. She helped me a lot, and she didn't have to do that. So I remember that I was like, what's going on here? She's so nice to me. What's going on? Because sometimes we are not used to that anymore. So anyways, she helped me a lot. It's something that I'm not going to forget easily because, when you feel lost, when you feel alone, and someone shows that kind of respect and appreciation and help and support, you feel like, wow, I'm not going to forget this, So same happened when I moved to Tullahoma, Tennessee back in 2015. I wanted to dance ATS, so I found this professional troupe in Nashville. So it was an hour and a half away from home, and I contacted them, and I was like, okay, I want to be part of this. I want to dance with them. How does it work? I was like a little confused because, I was, for the first time in my life, I was living in a foreign country. Well, not the first time. I lived in Japan before. I lived for a couple of months back in 2001, 2002 in Massachusetts, but it was, different culture, different time, different situation. So yeah, for me, it was something new. So I remember that I emailed them, and this lady, Caitlin Rain, that after that, she became one of my best friends. She was so nice to me as well. She was very welcoming. When I showed up for the first time at the dance studio, sometimes, you feel shy, intimidated because you don't know people, you don't know their dance level, you don't know how advanced they are, you don't know if you're going to be able to catch up with them. But yeah, she was very welcoming. When I met her in person, she was the sweetest woman in the world. She's not with us anymore, and sending you love, Kat. So I still remember how welcoming she was, how she made me feel at home. And I think that's something very important, something that we should do in our dance studio with our students, even if we don't know them, even if they are not going to show up for a second time. We need to show appreciation. We need to show that kind of support, you know? So, and also that happened in 2016 when I attended my second workshop in the States. That was in Kentucky, Owensboro. By the way, I shared a video not long ago about it. And yeah, my technique was awful back then. I'm still working on it. I think we are always working on it. But anyways, I remember that Cindy Elliott was the only one person, that dancer was the only one that made me feel welcome, that made me feel like, hey, you belong here, let's dance together. And then I did this performance after the workshop, and she was like, if you know ATS, you know what I'm talking about. We always give cues with our body, with our eyes, with our face expression. And she was very, come on, let's dance, you know? And if I danced that night was because of her. So those memories are the kind of memories that you don't want to forget about, because they remind you, or they remind me, that good people are still out there, willing to support you without expecting anything in return. So why am I telling you this? Because you are leaving your fingerprint in others, anywhere, anytime, no matter if you're dancing, no matter if you're doing something else, we are always leaving our fingerprint. And what I want to leave in others is positive thoughts, positive memories, right? And I remember that my second ATS event was in 2017. I attended again, I flew to California, and I tried to dance with this guy. He was very good at it, you know, the kind of guy that everybody wants to dance with. And I just joined because, you know, that's improvisation. Everybody, you know, there was live music. We were improvising, meeting people. You know, that's how ATS works. So, or back then, that was the way it worked. So I just joined this guy. He was dancing with someone else in duet, and then I joined them. So we were a trio. When he turned around and saw me, his face was like, what the hell is going on? So I didn't feel welcome. I didn't feel like I fit into that space. The energies were very weird, but I was already there. So I kept dancing until he just left. So no matter how good he is at dancing, no matter how amazing he is, I don't care. And I don't want to be close to people that forget that we're humans before dancers, right? I remember that back then I was a little intimidated. I was like, oh, it was because I'm not good enough to dance with someone like him. But after a couple of years, I was like, wait a second, I don't have to deal with that. So I don't follow that guy. I'm not going to talk shit about that guy. I'm not going to even say his name. But I'm not interested on learning from him or hanging out with him or anything to do with him. Why? Because again, you're leaving your fingerprint wherever you are, with your actions, with your energy. So, coming back to Terry Allred, Caitlin Rain, my dear cat, and Cindy Elliott, they are examples of people that they did an action that left a positive impact on me. So after that, I was thinking, what can I do to be as welcoming as Terry Allred was? What can I do to stop being shy, because I can be shy, and be more welcoming, be more positive, smile more to my students, be more inclusive? And all that is because these people taught me the way to do it in the right way, you know? So at the end of the day, We are not the best dancer. We are not the worst dancer. We are always in between. If you think that you are the best dancer, you're losing the ground. You're losing people, you're losing connections. You maybe are a good dancer, but you're not the best human in the world, right? So, in a few words, if you think that you are the best one and no one deserves to dance with you, just the best of the best ones, and you try to hang out just with the best ones, you're leaving behind all those people that are helping you or that they helped you to get there. So you are breaking relationships and connections with possible students, with people that could help you to create a business. You never know. So keep your feet on the ground. And on the other side, if you think that you are never enough, that you don't know enough, you're putting yourself in a very low position where no one knows your skills because you are not willing to show them what you know, right? So keep in mind that the extremes can be negative in both ways. If you feel like you're on top of the top or if you feel like you are not enough. So we need to find the balance because we're always learning, right? We are always learning. So we never peak. When you peak, you start going down. So we never peak, but also we need to be humble enough to recognize that there are people that know more than us and we can learn from them. And also there are people that are behind us that we can teach, that we can help, that we can support, because we have a journey, in a dance journey, right? So probably you are here in your dance journey and someone else is right here and they want to go where you are, and you can help them through teaching them, through doing workshops, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to choose. But remember that we are not the best ones, but we are not the worst ones either. But also, it's good to be aware of this. Some of us have to work harder to gain those dance skills, the technique, the musicality, and all that stuff, right? And sometimes you see someone that it looks very natural on them. And it's like, why they have all those skills? It looks like they were born with them. Well, probably for them it's easier to learn dance skills than for others. For example, for you, probably you have to work harder for a couple of years, while this person in a couple of months already achieved what you want to achieve. But it doesn't mean that they are better than you. Because remember, to be a good dancer is more than just the skills. It's the way that you communicate, it's the way that you express yourself, and how you communicate with your students if you're a teacher, right? How can you lead, how good leader you are. I'm not talking about ATS, I'm talking about as a teacher, as a dance instructor, you have a commitment, you have a purpose, and that purpose is to teach someone else to do what you do, right? To become good on what you are good at. So, and that is becoming or being a good human being, being very good at communicating, being very good at cheering people when they are not feeling that they are good enough. So it's more than just being a good dancer. So being a good dancer or being a good dance instructor is more than just be very good at dance skills or at technique, right? So keep yourself grounded. That's very important. And remember that we always are learning, and someone else is learning from you. Even if you don't know it, even if you are not aware of that, someone else is watching you, someone else admires you because of your technique. Maybe you have a very specific style that's very hard. That's very hard to find. And we're going to talk about that in another episode. But yeah, when you find your style and you feel very comfortable in it, wearing it and being yourself, and people they can notice that, and they say, wow, I love and I admire the way she is, right? So just show yourself the way you are, and that makes you unique, right? Even if you feel like you're a little weird, like me, sometimes I feel like I'm a little weird, and that's okay. Weird is different, right? So remember, never pick. Always keep learning, not just dance skills, human skills. Learn how to be a good leader. Learn how to serve better when you teach. Learn how to be better with your dance community. For example, in my case, I realized that I needed to do something else. I needed to contribute to the dance community beyond what I was doing. So what I started doing is sharing for free dance videos, but not just me dancing, because when I do that, there is nothing for them. So I'm sharing drills, and I'm sharing classes. Why? Because I want to contribute to the dance community in the best way that I can. So learn how to serve your community and how to help your students, if you're a dance instructor, to be better, to feel more comfortable and more confident in their own skin, in their own body. And yeah, keep doing that, because remember, be a good dancer is way more than just being good at technique. So I hope you are enjoying this podcast. Let me know your comments. Leave me a comment. Share this podcast with your dance friends. And I'll see you around in the episode number 3. Thank you. Bye.